In both Max's letter and Sophie's email, you can find these particular tenses. All right? The present perfect simple, present continuous, present simple, and past simple. They're both on a trip of sorts, and they're talking about activities they've done recently and things they're doing now. So we have present perfect simple for things that they have done, that they're finished doing, or possibly things that they have done that continue into the present. We see examples of present continuous for activities that are ongoing, things that are happening now. We see present simple for a state or an activity that is happening at the present moment. We also see past simple for completed actions or states that happened in the past at a definite time. Now, for number 2, informal writing often has a lot of colloquial language and words missed out. Notice this word colloquial. Okay? Colloquial language means language that is informal, and also sometimes colloquial language is different from one place to another. A word might be used in the north of the United States but not in the south, or might be used in England but not in America. This is called colloquial language. Now, we see some common examples. Kind of boring, right? Kind of boring means quite boring. This expression kind of is very common. You can hear it both in the UK and in the US. Been here for days, but seems like forever. This means, excuse me, I've been here. Okay, sorry. I've been here 2 days, I believe. But seems like forever. Notice in Max's email he left out a few words, but this means I've been here for 2 days, but it seems like forever. This next one is also very common, 'cause. Okay, this is the word because, but it's very common in spoken English to shorten this word to just 'cause. Alright, we don't say it very clearly or very loudly. So if a friend of mine says, "Oh, why are you leaving so early?" Maybe I'll say, "'Cause I have a doctor's appointment. 'Cause I have a dentist appointment." Right? So it's very common to hear that word because shortened to 'cause. Notice we pronounce it a little bit differently and or spell it differently. In the US, you usually see it looks like the word cause, apostrophe C-A-U-S-E. In the UK, you may see C-O-S. Those are common expressions. Now, for exercise 3, again, you may want to pause the video right now and study that first. It tells you to work with a partner. I put this in brackets, or what are called square brackets sometimes, because of course that may not be possible for you. But read the letter and email again. Number 1, what does stuff and hanging in there mean in Max's letter? Also, find colloquial words in Sophie's email and express them less colloquially. So we'll talk about these words in Max's letter first. Here, stuff means activities. I've told my class before, stuff means things. Here he's talking about activities, so he says something like, "We did lots of stuff. We did more exciting stuff at the other camp last year." Right? Max doesn't sound very happy. This word stuff could mean almost anything, referring to things or to activities. Hanging in there. Hanging in there means not giving up even though it's difficult. Maybe someone is sick or going through a difficult time and you see the person, especially if it's a friend and you're showing real concern, you might say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And your friend says, "I'm hanging in there." Hanging in there means I'm going through a difficult time, but I'm trying to make the best of it. Right? Now, examples in Sophie's email of colloquial language and what that colloquial language means. So here on the left we see the colloquial expressions, and the right more standard English. She says, missing you like crazy. It means missing you very much. Like it lots. I like it very much. Oz. She's in New Zealand. She recently went to Australia. We know this already. And then she calls it Oz. Loads of wildlife. That means lots of wildlife. Informally, sometimes we say loads of something to mean a lot. Classy sounding. She talks about going to the classy sounding Dell's cars. She and her friend actually bought a car to travel in. The name sounds fashionable and high quality. Here it's used ironically. This word classy means that something is really nice, maybe really expensive. So she's playing a little bit. She's trying to be funny, saying that this is probably a used car business sounds classy, or it's classy sounding. Okay? Now, she says things are going okay. That means they're working out all right. Nice and slowly. This means at a relaxed pace. Right? Maybe if you're going for a walk, but you're kind of tired, you might say, I'm going to go for a walk, but I'm going to walk nice and slowly. This means you're not going to walk very fast. So, part 2 of number 3 says, find examples where words are missing. Which words? Right? If you study Sophie's email, you will see that she's left out subject pronouns and auxiliary verbs, and in this case, the way we would almost always naturally say them is in these contractions, but that's if we say them. The truth is, as you can see from this activity, in the real world, in spoken English, people often leave out a subject pronoun or even an auxiliary verb, sometimes other words, when the context makes clear what we're talking about. For example, she says, got to sleep now. Well, she's writing an email. The person who receives the email knows that she's talking about herself here. So she can leave that out. These words in parentheses, of course, are contractions of the subject pronoun I with an auxiliary. Now, these are just examples. And again, in the real world, especially in written notes, emails, postcards, things like this, it is not unusual to see this kind of language.